Hello, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and lovers of the written word. I am Sejal Patil, the founder of PALLPUBB Company, and your today's host. And we have gathered here today for a momentous occasion, one that marks the birth of a new literary adventure. So we are here to celebrate the unveiling of the Windowpane Chronicles, a captivating journey into the realms of imagination crafted by the brilliant minds of Miss Jennifer. So let's embark on a journey of discovery, wonder, and enlightenment. And may the Windowpen Chronicles enchant and captivate you, leaving an indelible mark on your soul. Without further ado, let's begin this literary adventure and celebrate the birth of a new classic. Um, the book Windowpen Chronicles has been written by author Jennifer Notoane, and this book has been published by PALLPUBB. So, PALLPUBB is a book publishing company that has become synonymous with quality literature, innovation, and a commitment to both authors and readers. So, it's more than a publisher, it's a bridge between storytellers and their eager audiences. So, with an unrelenting commitment to quality, we meticulously curate, edit, and design every book to ensure it's a masterpiece. And it's so right. So, our team of dedicated professionals collaborates closely with authors to bring the vision to life, resulting in works that resonate deeply with readers worldwide. So, let me introduce and meet our Chief Executive Officer, um, Mrs. Leena Siddharth Patil, ma'am.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. And meet our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Dheeraj Patil.
Hi.
Um, Also, I would like to introduce our Head of Marketing Department, Mrs. Ashwini Sangle.
Hello everyone.
Okay, so moving on, as we embark on this literary voyage, we will discover that the Windowpen is not just a portal to different landscapes, but also a mixture reflecting the depths of human emotions, the complexities of relationships, and the intricacies of the human spirit. And it is a chronicle of life's most profound moments, woven together with prose that resonates with both beauty and truth. So, coming to this beautiful book by the beautiful author Jennifer, let me have the privilege to introduce her. Uh, Jennifer was born in Soweto, Johannesburg in 1988, and her educational journey began with remarkable promise. She attended J.J. De Jong Primary School, where she advanced intellect set her apart, and this early aptitude for learning her led her to Andrew Anthony Primary School, where her love for literature and the written word flourished, I would say. So, simultaneously, her foray into acting resulted in a silver award for her outstanding drama skills at the drama Estate Ford in 2000. And in 2006, her modeling career took off, granting her opportunities many teenagers only dream of, including fashion shows, photo shoots, and magazine features, or whatnot. You're already doing great, dear. And her serpentine introduction to radio led her to her own show where she discovered a profound passion. So, throughout her life, Jennifer has excelled in various roles from sports and social events to content editing for Times Life. And she was deeply committed, I would say, to charity work, aspiring to inspire youth to embrace literature and reading. And her life's journey serves as an inspiring testament to the power of pursuing one's passions and dreams, motivating others to do the same. Right? So, hello, Jenny. Today, this event is all yours. How do you feel about it today?
Oh my gosh. Everyone's been asking me that. How do you feel? I'm like, I don't know how I feel. I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm all in one. But I think, if anything, I'm just so proud. I think I have a very intense feeling of just feeling good and proud that we are here today. And I couldn't be more excited and prouder of what we've done, the entire team as well, being behind me. So I'm quite excited and happy.
You know,
And thank you for that introduction. I was like, is that me?
you are already doing great, and I'm just having the privilege to, be at your service. So, yeah, it's good.
Thank you.
Okay, so welcoming our guest, let me introduce you our special people alongside our author, Palisa and Kunli. So I'll start with an introduction of Palisa. She is a 23-year-old digital marketing manager and copywriter by profession. She oversees several brands and aims to help brands grow and thrive in ever-changing industry. So she also runs an organic skincare brand called Her Beauty that aims to encourage an organic approach to beauty, skin, regimen lifestyle, infusing care and luxury with the goal of expanding the brand globally someday. And I'm sure it will be one day, no doubt. Ms. Palisa, I would like to know your equation with the author Jennifer, and would you like to share anything that you find to be noticed from her book without actually giving any spoilers?
Okay, firstly, hello everyone. Can everyone hear me? I hope everyone can hear me.
Yeah.
As mentioned, I am Palisa. I'm a 23-year-old digital marketing manager by profession and a copywriter. And my relationship with Jane started at work. I am her colleague, and then it eventually grew to a sisterhood. You know, there's so much I could say about Jane, a very hardworking girl. I mean, I work closely with her every single day. You know, a creative, a very emotional person, so I am not surprised that she was able to achieve all of this, because it's like, of course, I mean, I see her every day and I'm always commending her, like, you're such a hardworking woman. And in terms of the Windowpane Chronicles, what a profound read. I think one of the things that stand out for me about the book is the vulnerability and the transparency. She's so transparent in that book. She technically shows pieces of her that we all perhaps have not seen or don't get to experience on a daily basis, so I really, really appreciate the transparency. And without giving much away, my favorite poem from the book is, I have two actually. One being "My Worth Priceless," and I feel like that is an important message for women to hear, that, what, your worth is not tied to materialism. Your worth is not tied to how you treat it, but your intrinsic value is what makes you worthy. So I feel like it's such a beautiful poem. It's needs to get into the hands of so many women because it's such an important message. And also a poem that's profound is "A Mother's Sorrow," right? And I'm not even a mom, but it just shows the, like, what comes with being a mom, the ups and the downs, and the fact that she was able to put herself in those shoes and speak on it. Like I mentioned, it's transparency that's in the book, about personal life challenges, personal romantic pursuits, so I really could go on, but I won't. But yeah, I'm so proud of her for this milestone, this achievement. I know it's going to be in the hands of so many people, and yeah, it's definitely well deserved. So yes.
He really deserves that. True. Like whatever you said, it actually connects one to one dot. Like I've been with her for only I guess 1 month approximately, not even that. We don't even chat on a daily basis, but somehow when she talks with us, or we anytime have trying to have any conversation, we automatically connect. And for author, that is really very very important. So yeah, moving on towards our next guest, Mr. Kunli. So let me start introducing him officially first, and then we'll move on to chat. So first of all, he's a highly skilled and versatile individual, proficient in both writing and photography, with an impressive decade-long experience in the latter. And concurrently, he serves as a dedicated member of the Madiba Foundation for Good Governance, a prestigious organization committed to promoting the ideas of Madiba and empowering the youth of Nigeria and Africa to actively participate in governance. So he is deeply passionate about fostering good governance in Africa and heading a transformative era for African youth. And beyond his professional pursuits, he finds joy in physical fitness, music, documentaries, writing, and engaging with new people. And currently based in Abidjan, Nigeria, he continues to channel his passion and expertise towards meaningful contributions in his various endeavors. So, coming to Kunli, I found out that even you are a writer. You keep writing something, so carrying that personality, I would like to request you to share your views on the book.
For the intro, I met Jennifer in 2007 at the university, Western College, and we've been friends since then, and she has been an awesome friend to me. Thank you. The book is so real, it's so authentic, it's so relatable. I'm not a woman, but I can relate to the book very well. So I thank you for writing it. And I've been a writer, but I've not published any book yet. And this is an inspiration for me to put out my work. I stopped taking them to myself. So this is very inspiring. And my favorite, I have so many favorites. I have a broken cry. I have paranoia. The other one. I have so many favorites, and I like the simplicity of the stories of the writers. They are so real. They are simple to digest. They are simple to understand. And that's what I love about it. And that's the type of writer I am also. I like simplicity that someone from a child to an old woman can understand and relate to the story. So thank you for having me. I really love this book. I recommend it for anyone who wants to read it. I'm reading all the way again because it helps me process my pain, my, my emotions, and I think I'll start writing a lot more because of this book. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Um, when you started, you said this that even though you're not a woman, you can relate a lot. And this is where the real authorship comes from. It means she literally relates. Like whatever she writes, everybody can relate to it. And that is the, I would say, most important part of writing. So, yeah, you are already a queen, Jenny. So,
Thank you.
also, today we had one more guest, Poppy, and due to some unfortunately, she's not able to attend with us today. But yeah, we miss your views on our author today. Maybe someday we'll do that also. And okay, so having you two meant the world to us, and we truly appreciate the effort you made to be a part of this celebration. And your warm wishes and kind words touched our hearts. So yeah, thank you for sharing in our joy and for making this occasion truly remarkable. So moving on to the most important part, that is a Q&A session with our Jenny related to a book. Now read in your dedication that you have dedicated this book to your mother.
Yes.
So, can you tell us, our readers, about something about that?
So the book is dedicated to my mom, and the reason is that she was sadly my mother passed away end of 2019, and she was a very fierce force to be reckoned with. She always pushed me to go after my goals, achieve everything I want, and to never shy away from doing the right thing or saying the right thing. And I remember as well when I had issues with releasing the book or letting it be shared in the public. Her words were, "When the time is right and everything is connected, like you said, you will meet the right people who will make this experience a joy for you, and your book will be seen and heard by everyone." And I didn't understand what she meant, because I was like, no, this is it. I'm done. I don't want to write. And then I met Sajal, and I was like, oh my gosh, my mom was actually telling the truth. And so it just felt right, and it felt more fitting to honor her legacy and her life by embodying it and cementing it in this book. So every time someone reads this book, I want them to also have that special connection to their parents and just remember the struggles they went through for us to be where we are today. And that is why it just felt perfect for me to just make sure that she is the queen that she was, and for the book to just dedicated to her and her memory. And that's why I the dedication page is just all about her.
Fulfilling her
Thank
wishes. You're doing on your own. You're already doing great. And moving on to our next question, I would say, can
you.
you share a memorable or funny anecdote or anything from your writing journey that you would like to pass on to your readers? Like while writing, anything that you have, mentioned in your poetries or poems.
Uh-huh. Okay, so there is a poem. I think I changed the title 6 times because so when I wrote the poem, I was still with the person. So, I was like, oh, this is nice. And I'll be like, oh, wait, let me not say his name. And I was like, so that it's mysterious. And I changed it to Bob. And then we didn't work out. And then I changed it to another name. And then we worked out. I changed it to another name. We did. So that was the funniest thing throughout the entire journey, because every other poem I would write it, and then my cousin, actually, she's the one that always helped me with the titles. And then she'd be like, oh, this sounds like this. I'm like, okay, cool, write it out. So with that specific poem, it was always so hilarious. And then this year, finally, when I was submitting the last poem, it's like, you know what, give it to the original name, Dear John, because that's it. We're not changing. We're not doing anything. And if he sees it, and if he's like, oh, Saisi, you did an Adele, I want money, I'm like, we have millions of Johns. So
That's
that was
true.
actually one of the funniest stories about the entire book. Just that one, actually.
Great, great. Like changing multiple things and then coming back to again like what you have already written, and then yeah, there are multiple Bobs, Johns. We have multiple people over here. Not pointing out to somebody, Yes, yes, it's you.
Exactly.
No, it's not like that. Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think a lot of men, as Kunle said, when they see that poem, I think a lot of men will be like, oh, I have been a John once upon a time in my life. And I'm like, let me not be this guy.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so while writing,
Mhm.
while doing, while going through the process, and conversely, so what's the most challenging aspect for you during that process?
I think the challenging thing about being just a writer in general, but with this book, the second guessing that you sort of have. You'll write something, it'll be good, it's good enough. You know it's good enough. You know it's perfect. But then there's that little voice that says, "Are you sure? You sure that's your best work?" And then now you scratch the whole thing, and you're like, no, 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 go back. So I had, I think, 5 pages for one poem because it had so many lives. And eventually I was like, no, this is crazy, stop it. And so what I decided to do, every time I'd write a poem, and I think I found that it makes life easier. I'll write a poem, even if it's 5 lines, 10 lines, for me, that's complete. And then I'll give it to someone, and if they read it, they're like, wow, this is nice. I'm like, you sure? No, no, no. Because I realized if I have to go back and edit it and change it, I probably wouldn't have published the book, because I'll still be trying to chase perfection, trying to chase, that golden ticket that is amazing. And I realized that it's not about perfection, it's about being organic, being authentic, because that's where people are able to connect with you, where you are your organic self, when you are in your element of being vulnerable and just open. That's when the connection is better. But if you go change it 10 times, and I always say, if you edit a poem 5 times, throw it away. No, meaning you're not, the inspiration is not there. Move on to the next one, because you're stuck on something, you're fixating on something that's not there. So I think that's the most challenging thing, and I'm slowly working on it.
Like just what you mentioned right now, while phrasing something or putting words into, you put meaningful words and the lyrics at first, it feels like, we think of a concept or any idea comes to our mind sometimes, and then again write it in a sequence or as per the phrases or as per the rhymes match. And sometimes
Yes.
if that doesn't happen, we have to cut out those lines sometimes, or we have to change the meaning of the line, or something like that happens, right? And sometimes this feeling can be very a little intriguing to the author or somebody who's writing it, because myself I feel that multiple times.
Oh wow. I think okay, so the one thing I've realized as well about my poems, they take a life of their own. Even my writing in general, it takes a life of its own. So I'll start. I remember there's a poem I have. I was inspired by a friend of mine. We were all three of us were still in our 20s. And he was like, I want to get married. And we were all like, are you mad? You're so young. It's like, yeah, I know it, but I want to get married. And I was inspired to write a poem based on how he felt at that moment. And obviously, I don't know how he felt because I'm not in his heart, but I tried to put myself in his feelings and shoes and emotions. And it's surprising because I then sent him the poem and he showed it to his wife and they're like, oh, how did you know? This is so amazing. And I was like, I don't know. And it had songs, lyrics to songs as well. It was very different, not how I would usually write. So I think whenever that happens where I can't find something that rhymes, or if I can't find one word and I'm not sure what to do, I usually just end it there. I don't take out the word, I don't change anything, I just stop. And I'm like, I think that's my heart saying, this is it. You're done. No more. And yeah, there are a few times when I'll come back to it maybe a week later and then I'm like, ooh, wait, actually, I still have it. And then I'll see which line I change or what I add. And then I'm like, okay, I'm happy with it. So it's I've never taken out a sentence, which is I'm glad I haven't, because I know that could drive you crazy. But I have always added a few sentences after I've completed something. So I guess it's, you think it's done, but you're not done.
Okay, it is perfectly fine. Those are absolutely the thing that I think every author goes through, and that
Yeah.
can be sometimes a lot challenging as well as very hectic also, because the
Yes.
person who starts writing for the first time, or the person who's the very first writer, this can be very what you said. I would like to ask you, from your book itself, there are multiple poems or things that when we write it, it's very fresh in our mind, and no matter
Hmm.
how many times we read it, even after it's written 1 year ago, 2 year ago, but even after reading that particular poem, it still feels fresh as it if has been
Listen today.
no matter what. Even if you will read even after 10 years, it will still feel the same, very close to you. So is there any such poem that is very close to your heart?
Oh my goodness. I think oh, the one I wrote for my grandmother specifically. I just can't remember the name. I think Kunle knows it because he's like, yes, I know that poem. Every time I read it, I still feel like she's just here. We're planning what to cook for Sunday. It's amazing how it always transports me to all the amazing memories I have with my grandmother. So it's just always so, it's always surprising how, like you said, I wrote it years ago, but I still feel like, oh, this is it. Like this is exactly what's happening now. And I think also every other poem, to be honest, and that's why, and I know this is probably weird, but I'm one of those writers who do not read their own work. So once I write something, I'm like, bye. I leave it with someone else because I'm like, nope. I know the emotions. I know, every time I read it, I'm then taken back and I'm like, oh, wow. And then I'm like, once upon a time. So I write it and then I run away. I'm like, nope, I'm not reading it.
Great, great. That's definitely true, by the way. And I'm actually like surprised to listen that you don't read your work. I have read your work more than 10 times.
Yeah, I have read it because I had to make sure it was also good. But I think now if I read it, I'll start crying. I'm like, oh, Melissa, this poem.
And while writing, like I
Yes.
just feel this thing very complex. We think something, then we try to bring it on paper, then we write something, right? But what
Mm-hmm.
happens is what we actually think is far different from what we have written on paper, because we can't actually dot those exact points. And then what goes from that paper to the reader's mind is also a lot different, because everybody tries to catch it in their own way, the things they have experienced, right? Even if it's a quote that shows or something depicts a different way, when a reader, if a reader is happy or if the reader is sad, they will perceive
Mm-hmm.
the meaning of that poem or of that quote in their own way. So sometimes I think is, and they feel very good, they
Yes.
feel like, oh wow, this quote is so great, this poem is so special, it's so beautiful. Then have you ever thought something of like, if if the reader would get the actual idea of what I have thought before, how it would result? Because it happens with me. Whenever I sit
Yes.
alone and I start thinking something else, and I think, no, I think this is a very great idea and I should write it. But while writing, I write the same, but I don't know how, somehow it's a little different from what I actually thought. And then again, to the reader it's in a different way of how he has experienced things. So what do you think, what are your views on it?
Yes. Honestly, I think so. Another thing I actually said when I wrote my book is that the main theme, if you actually read the entire book, is that love is universal and we all actually interconnected and we all experience things different times, different days, but the same. So, and I've experienced that a lot. I've had people come to me and say, oh, this poem, did you have it? And I'm like, wait, what? Huh? No, what are you saying? And then, oh, it's poem. And I'm like, oh, interpretation. Okay. To you, you're connecting it in this way. Okay, so I actually love hearing such stories where people take my own word and they switch them, to how they resonate. And I'm like, I never thought about it that way. Okay, interesting. No, I did not. That was not what I was writing about, but okay. Thanks. And I think it's something you have to take, and then you just sort of, you're grateful and you smile because it's so different for every person that you not if you it, I always say the moment you release something, your work, you're no longer in control of how everyone else is going to take it. And I think that's also one of the scary parts about being an author. Anyone can take, I mean, someone can call me tomorrow and say they hated the whole book. That's okay. I know they didn't. That's a lie. But you still take it and you're like, thank you. Bye. So
Yeah.
that's how I just see it and deal with it. Yeah.
All of those poetries that you have written in your book, are they based on real incidents, or sometimes it's concept based, or your real life incidents based, your friends incidents, maybe your personal, or something that you have observed in the society, anything like that?
Uh, so my poems are real based. A few of them, I'm not going to tell you which one. So that's your homework, which I love.
Okay.
A few are based on personal experiences. Some are actually imagination. I so that should be a script for Netflix. And some are from observing my friends, family, loved ones go through something and then me taking that experience and writing about it, trying to put their experience into words. So there's a balance of all three, but it's the imagination ones that actually make me laugh, because there's a lot where people are like, oh, did you do that? And I'm like, I imagined that. I mean, but I'm glad you think it's true. Thank you. So, the balance.
This the situations indeed come true, when you write something and then people get sometimes obsessed over it, and they just come and ask, hey dear, are you going through something? Is everything okay with you? These are the questions from the people who really care about you. And there are few people who would like, just come to point those things again, like, is something going on? What happened? you know to just make that person feel very bad. And sometimes it can be, very mentally hectic, and it's good to stay away from those people. Dear, don't read it if it gives you so stress. Right. And
Yes.
that's all. I would like to ask you, who inspired you to write, especially for this book, or maybe in general when you started? What was the inspiration behind? Was there any a specific person or a personality or any author you know um, have follow as an idol or something like that?
Oh wow. So it's a very funny story. I was in a taxi going home from a sports event. Funny enough, we had just played a basketball game. I used to be a coach, and I met this guy, and we had known each other from a prior occasion, and he's like, hey, I work for, this company, and they're always looking for like writers. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And he's like, didn't you say you write? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I write, but I don't know if I'm like author material. And he was like, no, send me your stuff and then we'll look at it. And honestly, that's how it started. Like, I've always written. I think the person that probably inspired this would be my grade 8 teacher. I can't remember her name, which is so sad. And then the second teacher that took over after her, Madam Bamji, she was also an instrument to me pursuing writing, because she always used to say, you're so good. Your words inspire everyone. You should write. And I was like, no, I shouldn't. So I personally, and it's such a funny story, because I even explained it to a friend of mine, that I've never thought of myself as an author, but I've always known I could write. I've always known I'm good at it, but I never actually said, oh, I should write a book one day. If anything, I always just be like, oh, I should be a lawyer or a doctor, all those other careers. But the people that were always in my life, my teachers, especially the English teachers, I think they're the ones that sort of navigated me into making sure that this happens. And as soon as it became a thing where I was like, I actually now want to write a book, I'm good. I think the inspiration came from, I wanted to share my work with everyone else and hope that what I write will heal someone. Someone could be going through something or dealing with something. If my work can just make them feel hopeful or happy, then that's it. That's all I want. And so I guess the inspiration differs. It's I never grew up with, oh, I want to be, I wanted to be a forensic pathologist, which is very far from a writer. But I think the inspiration found me. And I think that's so insane, because I never saw myself in the seat. But the fact that I'm in it, I'm so grateful, because now I'm like, it's crazy how the passion and the purpose found me. I just woke up one day, I was like, yeah, I was meant to do this. Makes sense. So.
You are actually meant for this, and that's so true. I mean, like,
You.
I mean it. I really mean it. Like, when did you started your writing journey? When did you started writing? At what age, particularly?
Ooh, I think I was 7 when I started writing.
Oh,
But I would just write little quotes. Oh, and then I remember I loved cards. So I'm obsessed with cards. For those that are here, if it's my birthday or if you buy me a card, I love it. So, and the ones that would sing, the ones that you open and that start singing a song. So I always used to say, I want to write that message. I want people to open up a card and read my message. And so at the age of 7, I mean, I didn't know it would lead to now at 35. So that's when I actually started writing, when I was like, oh, I think I could do that. How do they do it? And then that's how it started. Like, I still can't believe 7-year-old me was wiser than me. So good for her.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, like, you started writing at the age of 7. It really means I say it from today onwards. I even feel so great of you, actually, because writing since 7 is not a joke, and I really appreciate that, and it's just
Yeah.
perfect. Um, Great.
Thank you.
I'm just thinking of more questions because I guess I have only today's time to ask you so many types of questions or queries that I have in my mind. I don't know if I will get this chance again. Like I
We can always have another meeting, you and I,
thank
and
you.
just go a whole 2 hours.
Wow. Okay. And yeah, when you started writing, can you, like, if you remember, can you tell us what was your first maybe quote or poem? What was that? Can you share us a little glimpses of it?
Oh.
The first one.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't think actually, I think the first one was a letter to, which is so funny. I think I wrote a letter to uh, Father Christmas. So I wanted a bike, but I think that was probably the first thing I wrote. But the first thing I wrote was an essay for school, in primary school, when they asked us what did we want to become, and I was so conflicted because everybody at home wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, and I was like, no, I don't know. I want to be a forensic. I didn't even know what forensic pathologist was then, which is weird that I still knew. And I think that was the first thing I wrote. And I think the line that stood out for me was probably if you put your heart to it, you can achieve anything you want. Uh, it's put your anything you want, because you grow up and things happen and you're like, no, your heart is lying to you, don't listen to your heart. But now look where my heart has brought us. So I think that is the line actually that I remember from when I was like, oh wow, I still can't believe I actually remembered it. That's good on my brain.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I see
Okay.
Kunya has a question.
We have a very fantastic question, specially requested by Kunle. So wait, let me just open it. Okay, so who is your favorite author and poet or novelist? Anyone, please.
Hi. Oh wow. I actually am obsessed with Shakespeare. Obviously because that's all we knew in high school. But my favorite author is actually James Patterson. There is something about that man's brain where every time I read he's so versatile that anything you anything and I think he just constantly inspires me to just go and just try. But another author that probably made me become a voice for female inequality and everything else has to be Jane Austen. And then Wole Soyinka as well in terms of poetry. I'm sure Queen Liz, oh, you were like an artist from here. Yeah, he's also my favorite. And I can't remember the last one, and I feel so bad because he wrote Down Second Avenue. I'm so sorry. Whoever knows the name of that author, please tell me. My apologies. But he's also my favorite. So those are my favorites, Kunle.
I would request if anybody else wants to, know, just like Kunle did right now, if anybody wants to ask her questions.
Oh,
Oh, we have
oh,
one more. Great. So, This person wants to say to you that I just want to say how proud I am of you. You have such an amazing heart, and I'm glad that through this work it can be experienced. May what you have given and offered return tenfold. Oh,
Oh,
this
thank
is
you.
so cute.
Okay, no crying, guys. Stop it. Don't say nice things.
She's already crying tears of happiness.
Yeah.
Go guys,
Thank you
today
so much for
it's your day. It's your day. If they are coming out, let them.
that. Yeah,
Never
Palace has
ever
been
hold
doing that the whole week.
never ever hold things that gives you, that shows your happiness, that depicts what you are, because it's a sincere thing that you feel for your friends, those who are actually telling you. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Yes. And I'm
And
so grateful. Thank you guys so much.
okay, so
Okay.
although Pop isn't here, she has a question for you. What is your favorite poem and why?
Is the from my book or any other poem?
Okay, so is it for her book or for any other book?
Poppy?
From the book. Sorry, thank you very
Oh,
much. From the book.
oh, from my book. Oh yeah. Poppy. Okay. I already have my favorite poem, but it's not from me. From my book, it has to be. Oh, wow. It's so you can go look for it. Let me tell you the page number, then you go look. It's page 29. Now you're forced to buy the book.
This was so, I would say a good strategy. I would be implementing this thing from nowadays onwards. This is a video.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I'll tell you the title of the poem. Let me. But that was so tricky. So the title of the poem is called "Let Me Tell You About Him." That's actually one of my favorite poems. That's actually one of my favorite poems. Yeah.
I just saw somebody raising hand. Was it Palisa? Do you
I
want
like how Mateki has brought food. He's enjoying his food while I'm here starving. Thanks, friend. See, these are the friends I have.
They are so good to you. Look, he's accompanying you even though he's having food.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So we have one more question over here. Who is your target and who do you want to read this book?
honestly, I think Palace and I were having this conversation, and I was like, after hearing Kunle's words and just how inspired he was, my target. I mean, it's easy. Women can already relate to my poems. They sit in it. They feel them. They understand it. My target is men. I pray and hope that every man will actually get the book, read the book, and find a bit of themselves in the book and then feel free. I mean, there's even a poem called Freedom Amnesia that talks about being able to release everything that you feel. And I genuinely hope that men out there will purchase the book and find some form of healing as well. Because I think with women, you already know you're the target. I mean, I'm a female. It makes sense. But I honestly hope that they also can connect to it as well. And in terms of age, I mean, the English is so simple, which I made sure that I know even a 13-year-old can read and be able to understand and learn a few words, or even someone as old as 85. So the age is not specific. It's everyone who just wants to read something good and just feel good as well. Definitely they can get it.
Okay, so today's discussion was something on very next level because it was, like the heart to heart talk, connecting people. You have your friends over here, and they've been showing their support for you. Like I would really, I really envy you guys. Your group is incredible. So yeah, so coming to the closure, we are already, at the end of our session today.
Yes.
And to be honest, this book launching event was something so special, so
Aw.
different, and so that gave a family feeling, like literally,
Aw.
because everybody is sharing something or other, and everybody is interested in you, asking you questions. Like, this is really, really, really nice. And
Thank you.
so coming,
Um,
yeah, sure.
I think. Sorry, I think Cabello had a question when you said I saw a hand. I saw Cabello and Palisa, but I'm not sure if.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw somebody raised hand.
Cabello.
I think Gabelo's question was my question.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. No, then I guess that's it. Yeah, because I thought there was a separate one, but yeah, the whole answered.
And today's highlight of the show was when Kunli said that being a man, he can relate to this book, and this is what really an author needs to have the quality in herself or himself, and that you already have shown, and this itself
Oh,
indicates your power of writings. So yeah, coming to conclusion
thank you.
today, I would really like to thank you, all of you, for coming here, joining our author Jennifer, our most loved one, most loved author. So beautiful, physically
Oh,
and by heart also. She's such a sweetheart, and really. So yeah, thank you all for joining this event, and I hope, I wish, Jennifer, that your book will be set across the world, will spread as much as we can, and you'll receive a lot of love from readers, from your friends, from your families, from us publishers too. Now,
yes.
I think I would say, instead of saying publisher, even can you add me in your group? Please,
Yes.
friend.
We'll invite you. There's a few people missing as well because they also had to do stuff, but definitely we are adding you. You've been adopted. We're going to add you to the nerd gang where we're always getting up to something crazy because I've been talking about you as well. And everyone has been so excited and they especially my other friend as well who has a podcast. I love his words. He said that Sajal is so amazing because she's what we need in the creative field, someone who's willing to take your hand and just say, okay, let's see how we can make your dream come true. And we don't have a lot of those people. Unfortunately, we don't have people who are willing to make your dream come true without them adding what they think it should be. And I think it's sad because now everyone is all about the business and forgetting that at the end of the day, you still need that connection. We are very connected as people. I mean, you're all the way in India, Kunle is in Nigeria, we're in South Africa, but look at us all now connecting and
United.
coming together. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things ever, that if we can just remember one thing, is that we are all interconnected, and love is a very beautiful thing that we all share with each other, and it should always inspire us to do better and be better.
Definitely. It's vibes, right? It's those positive, good vibes. Yeah,
Yes, it's vibes.
that's vibes. Okay, so here I officially conclude our session. Thanks for joining, and keep supporting,
Thank
keep
you.
loving. Also, PALLPUBB will always be there for you all, for you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Thank you
Bye.
so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye.